Welcome back to Dice Pixels. We're here with episode something, and we're going to talk a little bit about Gamescom and some other stuff. So, the only announcement I heard out of Gamescom that I think I care about is the GeForce Now streaming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, new as of the day that we're filming this, basically, but for you, it's like a week ago and a bit, maybe. GeForce Now, you will be able to stream Xbox GamePass games, PC games, I should say, on GeForce Now. I care about this because I'm confused by it.
Yeah. I'm just confused by it.
I don't want it. I'm confused by it. So the reason this confuses me and all of us is Xbox Cloud Gaming exists. And so it's a little weird that, which you can play from your PC.
Mm-hmm.
Little weird that, there's a difference. There's PC games that aren't on Xbox and there's something there, but you still have to subscribe to the Xbox Game Pass stuff to be able to play them on GeForce Now. So you have to pay for Xbox Game Pass PC and pay for GeForce Now to play these games, whereas you could just upgrade to the Ultimate Game Pass and be able to play all of the Xbox games on the cloud. It's a little weird. There are, as I say, PC games that aren't on Xbox that you would get access to, but this just seems dumb to me.
I'll stick with Ultimate.
Yeah, right? It's a no-brainer. I'd be curious to know if anybody in the comments, maybe there are people that they already have both, and this is just like, oh, cool, I can get everything in one place. It seems dumb to me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get what the value proposition here is.
Yeah, and I mean, we tested the streaming, the cloud gaming services on Xbox Game Pass there a few months back, and like I said, you got a great internet connection. The cloud gaming service is fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't notice any appreciable difference between the GeForce Now quality and the Xbox cloud gaming quality, as long as you're Ethernet. The 4080 stuff that you can get on GeForce Now, I think you can maybe go to higher settings, but does anybody really care? Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm on GeForce Now website because I've never actually looked at their plan before. So they do have a free plan. Basic rig, I guess it's just, just pretty basic, whatever.
Yeah.
You have a 1 hour session length.
Yes.
And then their next...
And that is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and then the next tier, the priority tier, is $12.99 per month.
Yeah.
With a 6 hour session length.
Yeah.
And then the ultimate is $24.99 per month with an 8 hour session length. The fact that they put caps on things.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't subscribe to GeForce Now anymore. I got in as a founder and had the preferred pricing and everything. There's a reason I canceled it because it's just not interesting. I know people who subscribe to it because they don't have a PC that can play and they don't want to do consoles and everything. I get it.
Yeah.
But assuming that you're paying the $25 a month for the top tier, because honestly, I think paying for anything else would be a little weird.
Yeah.
And then also 15 to 25 for Game Pass, depending on what you're getting. That's a lot. You should buy a fucking PC.
At that point, yeah.
You're spending a lot on subscriptions at that point. Maybe not. I mean, what a decent gaming PC these days goes for, we'll say 2,500 Canadian. You could put down in a pretty good one. So that's how many months? That's $50 a month. We'll call it. The PC would be obsolete by the time you paid for it. So that's maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm old.
Yeah.
And actually, no, to be honest, and anyone who's watched the podcast before knows that my issue with the cloud gaming stuff is just that it doesn't work over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I have never gotten it to work over Wi-Fi. It works great if you're wired. But if you're playing it wired, you're probably playing it on a PC, like on a system, at which point just buy a fucking graphics card for the computer.
Yeah.
Like I can't play it on my laptop because it doesn't work wired. I have to get like a dongle to play it on my, never mind. So, but yeah, so that's weird. Let us know if anyone has any idea why this is useful in the comments. I'm curious. It is very confusing to me, other than the fact that I presumably from their perspective, they already supported the games. And for them, it was just a case of linking the two accounts.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it makes sense that they did it. It doesn't make sense as a user why you would care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you go play through GeForce Now when you could cloud play it?
I don't know what you're getting, what benefit you're getting. Like I know what benefit you're getting. I don't know anyone who would be willing to pay for that benefit.
Yeah.
So you're only getting people who are already paying for both separately, which is, I assume, a small amount. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Wi-Fi gaming and cloud gaming and all that fun stuff, Sony finally decided to let us know not only what their little portable streaming console is going to be called, but also its price. The PlayStation Portal, which we talked about a few episodes back, is basically Sony's cloud gaming little handheld to use in sync with your PlayStation 5. And it's going to have a price of $199 American.
Yeah.
And it will be released later this year. They did not give a specific date, but
it'll be November.
Yeah.
That we were actually quite surprised about that price point.
Yeah, I was expecting $300 or $400 to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it will be for us, but
yes, $300 or $400 US is what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So like you got to put that price into perspective for starters, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to shit mercilessly on this device. I'm one of the few people that's going to defend it. Controller, I mean Canadian, they cost like $80. So let's say they cost what, 60 US, 55, something like that. So you're talking about 3 and a bit times normal controller for this thing. It's not going to be useful for streaming remotely because remote streaming from PlayStation just doesn't work. I've tried it many times and it doesn't work. But for people who want to play in their house and don't necessarily have the luxury of always being in front of the TV that their system's attached to, or like they have one good TV that they have it attached to and it's often taken up by children watching Baby Shark or whatever the hell.
Or if your wife is playing Firewatch on the Xbox Series X and you just want to keep playing Final Fantasy 16 on the PlayStation 5.
For instance.
Or if you're pooping.
Or if you're taking a dump, yep. This could be a great idea. The price is in the range that I expected it to be well more than this.
Yeah.
I thought $249 was the absolute bottom of the line that they would put it at. So seeing it initially offered at $199 is pretty good because it'll go on sale here and there. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they release it during Black Friday and do like $20 off.
Yep.
I don't own a PS5. Chad and Sarah do.
Yep.
You guys, I think out of the three of us, I would be most likely to buy it because it fits my use case pretty well. Mm-hmm. Although if you're super into Final Fantasy, that might be a different story.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing that I could see. Like I said, if Sarah's playing something on Xbox, right?
I mean, that's on basically the main TV. That's basically what it's for. Whether it's on another console or watching whatever your wife's doing Bachelor Night or your husband's watching, I don't know, Bachelor Night. I'm sure it happens.
Oh, fuck, I love that show.
You can still play your game, right? Like I believe that is the use case they're actually targeting with this.
But that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know how it would work. I don't know if it would. So I'm gathering that if you took this thing with you on a trip and you had it connected to Wi-Fi, I'm sure you could communicate with your PS5 at home.
It will technically function.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that with the PS Vita.
Yeah. Because
it never actually worked.
Yeah. Because a lot of the a lot of the feedback that I read and stuff, a lot of people were concerned that this was basically going to be like the Wii U tablet, where you couldn't really do anything with it that far away from the actual console.
Right.
But if this is all like communicating via Wi-Fi, like in hindsight, you could, I guess it would work that way. If
It'll work anywhere in your house for starters, and it should work over the like
anywhere.
Technically, it will work over the internet. I'm confident. But as I say, like, unless they have changed something substantial, I did this with the PS Vita years and years ago. And even in an office, even in a tech giant office with like crazy gigabit plus internet connecting to a household connection with gigabit internet, it was iffy at best. So, but based on my experience, that has nothing to do with the connection speed. It has to do with Wi-Fi, because we've seen it here. Like I can't play I've got the PC sitting here. It'll work fine because it's wired. My laptop's sitting here and it won't work worth shit because it's Wi-Fi. So like, it seems to be that last hop of Wi-Fi that kills it. So maybe they figured out a way to fix that.
Yeah.
In which case that could be an amazing device. But
yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know I don't think I would want to buy one like right out of the gate.
Sure.
Mostly because we're usually all over the place with gaming. Like I said, I've been playing the hell out of Final Fantasy 16, and I actually just I downloaded the early access for this game called Wayfinder that I've been playing on my PlayStation. But for the most part lately, I've been gaming primarily on Xbox. So I can't really justify spending, $200 plus on this right now. Or also too, the PlayStation Pulse Elite headset.
Oh, well, those are fucking stupid.
And the Pulse Explore earbuds that they can connect wireless. Obviously, they're Bluetooth, blah 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 blah. But the company's calling it the PlayStation Link. Yeah,
I know. They did not need to release headphones for the PlayStation. That's the dumb.
Or earbuds.
Just the earbuds.
Same thing. Like, I stand by exactly what we said when we originally. I mean, it's nice that they gave it a name and we can shit on it properly now. But like, my attitude towards this has not changed. They're stupid.
Yeah. I'm looking at the earbuds again, and I have weird shaped ears. Like, a lot of wireless earbuds fit strangely into my ears. There is no way I could ever wear those and have them stay in. They are the weirdest fucking shape I've ever seen.
They're a super dumb shape, and like, the thing is, even if they're the best fucking headphones in the world, I'm still not going to buy them, because I'll go and buy one of the brands that actually does, like, even if they had just made Sony earbuds, it would be less dumb than PlayStation earbuds. Sony already makes headphones, and they're decent. Like, I have a set; they're okay. We prefer Sennheiser, but Sony does good headphones.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Well, I had a pair of
them.
Yeah, I had a pair of Sony Golds that I mean, we still use.
They're fine.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah,
they were great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will give Sony credit. They're really sticking to the overall branding and
the aesthetic.
The aesthetic of how everything looks. Like they're really sticking to that. They love the sleek white weird shit.
They're an interesting conversation piece, but to Sarah's point, they don't look like something that you should go in your ear.
No. And just on looks too, I'm actually kind of surprised that the handheld is not designed differently than the initial thing. Like, it literally still looks like they cut the controller in half and put the screen in. It looks
I noticed
it still looks super awkward.
It does, yeah, because we said, like, Chad was, the last time we talked about this, Chad was like, oh, it doesn't look very comfortable, and Sarah and I are like, they've got time, they'll design it properly.
No, it looks less photoshopped now.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't look like it's a Photoshop tablet between things.
But they didn't change much about it.
No,
maybe it feels good in the hand. I don't know. I like the Portal. Like, I'm not going to buy one because I still don't have a PS5 and I'm not about to buy one. But if Microsoft released the same product, there is a pretty good chance I would buy it, because only if it actually worked, mind you. Like, I would love to be able to stream games from my gaming PC to the Steam Deck, but I can't.
Mhm.
It doesn't work.
Mhm.
I mean, technically it works, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So if they could solve it and make it actually function, like, for instance, you tried playing Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck. Now,
Well,
I know,
we have been.
yeah, and,
Yeah.
and it works, and it's okay.
Yep.
But I bet it would work way better if it was backed by a proper gaming PC and you were just streaming it, right? Like,
Mhm.
that would be a
Mhm.
superior
Oh,
experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Except that right now it's a far worse experience because it doesn't fucking work over Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and I've said this before, if anyone's watching this and is like, oh, get this router because it works, let me know, because I will buy a different router to make this work. But I have found nothing that works. I've tried so many different things.
Yeah.
So if it works over Wi-Fi and for people who have PS5, I think it's a good product.
Mhm.
I'd like to get my hands on it just to, because I mean, if to see this 1080p 60 FPS playback that they claim for the
Yeah.
screen and stuff, I kind of want to see it in action. Yeah, it's if it was gifted to me,
Sure.
like I'd be like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But is it something that I'm going to use frequently? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a limited set of people that will truly care about it.
Yeah. And also too, you're also limited to like, so if we went up north somewhere, right? Like, my brother's house or whatever, the internet's not the greatest up there.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get it. Like,
So-
it's not a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
but it's also less than half the price.
Although that would be
Yeah.
kind of cool
I
if you could have like, if there was like an SD card kind of storage thing where you could actually put games on the SD card to pop into this thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it just doesn't have
It doesn't
any
have the
hardware
guts.
to
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. So
Which is why it's $200, not $800.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's an interesting product.
Mhm.
Like I said, if Microsoft released that same product for Xbox,
Different story.
I mean, I probably still wouldn't because I have enough screens in the house that are connected one way or the other. But like, it's the sort of product I would buy.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I bought the Steam Deck. Now, the Steam Deck works great standalone, so I don't regret getting it. I love the Steam Deck.
hmm
But it does not. One of the things I bought it for was the like in-home streaming, and I have yet to have a good experience with that. So if they can solve that, they've got something. So we'll see.
Hell yeah. You know what Xbox isn't going to release?
Yeah,
A Pro.
yeah. Schiller was pretty emphatic about that, and rightfully so.
Mhm.
I don't feel that we need an Xbox Pro. I don't think we need a PS5 Pro.
No.
In my opinion, like the Xbox Series X is kind of like that's the Pro,
That's
more or
the
less.
Pro,
yeah.
Because if you have the S, which is the affordable kind of discless,
Yeah.
less powered, Series S, whatever, and then your X is like your
You're chonky.
that's your ride or die,
Well, and they've kind of made this pretty clear, and I would recommend this to anyone who's seriously interested. Over time, they've made it pretty clear that Xbox Cloud Gaming is going to be a thing.
Yep.
And as long as you're connected by Ethernet, it works really, really well. So go and get like one of those mini IoT PCs that can handle streaming for a couple $100, and just you can always have the most recent console, whatever their cloud isn't rendering it on Xboxes, it's rendering it on like PC hardware.
Mhm.
Just do that if you're concerned about having the latest, greatest, fastest stuff, because it will always run it pretty much flawlessly. So I don't think that there's any good reason to release Pro unless you're screwed something up in the original release. And I don't think either of them did. I mean, Sony screwed up badly by not having any units to sell. But otherwise, I think the PS5 is a good system.
It's a good system. I just think it's a bit of an eyesore.
But there's lots of people that are like, it's
Yeah.
the most gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think it was stupid to go for something that was garish because it splits people down the middle. Like,
Yeah.
I've not met anyone who was like, oh, the Xbox is so fucking ugly. A lot of people are like, it looks like a subwoofer. It's like, sure, but
Yeah.
I mean,
it fades into the background.
Yeah, it's just completely nondescript, right? I would have gone that route. But, I mean, I know lots of people who think that the PlayStation 5 is awesome and they love it and it's like a centerpiece for them and everything else. And then I know lots of people who, like you, are like, no, it looks like shit. I'm neither here nor there.
Yeah.
For me, the looks are fine. I just think that the fact that it doesn't, like, it takes up so much space and it's so curvy is just awkward. Like, it's fine.
It's like an upgraded future version of the PS3, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which also should have just been a square.
Like the PS2.
And ostensibly the PS4. Yeah.
Like the 2023 version of a beta.
Yeah.
A beta player.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, guys. Just if it's meant to go in your entertainment console, make it a rectangle of the right size.
Right.
Done.
See, I almost want to go out and find one of those old stereo cabinets that used to have like all the different stereo components in it. And just instead of having like, you know, the receiver, the AM, FM radio, all that crap, put like the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and just have that all in this little, with the glass door and all that crap.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of people that are like, sort of gutting them to do that sort of thing. They're like, they're hacking them, and I support it.
Well,
I think it's great.
Yeah, we had talked about we have an extra dresser at home that we were talking about putting into one of our spare rooms, and just making it like taking out the drawers and just reformatting all the drawers and everything. So you just open them up, and it's all of our old consoles, like the 360s and our PlayStations and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then the damn cats would probably sleep in them.
Well,
probably.
Yeah. Well, you leave the bottom drawer open and then the little one is happy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've actually, we're not going to do it here because it's a rental and a bunch of other things, but when I build us a proper entertainment system, which might happen here, we'll see, I'm going to install like server rails, like rack rails, and I'll just do shelves of the appropriate size for all of them with a nice cabinet door in front, because then I can mix and match audio equipment and everything, and it all just fits. You don't have to worry about like, oh, the shelf is the wrong size. It's like, well, let me just make it the right size. Because I think that's my biggest complaint about like the weird shaped stuff. Like, I don't care that the PS5 is weirdly shaped. I care that it's like it's long and not tall, or it's tall and not wide, and it's weird.
It's a weird height. And
whereas if you just have a like little adjustable thing that you can make the shelves any height, who cares? It's fine.
Yeah.
Although we did see some, I think you showed me these translucent, different colored PlayStation 5 cases.
Yeah.
That actually look pretty freaking cool. Definitely brings back like the early aughts and stuff like that, where everything was like see-through and. But they look kind of cool. I'd just be a little skeptical of taking apart the PlayStation 5 to throw it in a case like that.
Well, depending on what they are, it's actually incredibly easy to do. They actually
it looks like it's basically
shelf.
like you take the whole PlayStation 5 apart and then
they made it pretty easy to swap that stuff. I mean, the outer panels literally just pop off and swap, but even the inner panels are pretty easy to replace. I still want them to offer like official versions of like the wall art version where it's all like busted out and everything, but you can still plug in like HDMI to the frame. So you've got like a little picture frame on your wall with your PS5 in it. I still think that would be huge
cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
It would require a complete redesign of some of the cooling stuff though, so they're not going to do it, but
I mean, there probably is like some third-party people that would do that if you're willing to pay up the butthole.
The DIY Perks guy, the YouTube channel DIY Perks, he'd be the most likely to do something like that, because he made the world's first PS5 Slim and stuff, which are cool videos, by the way. If you want to check out some of that stuff, he made like an all brass PS5 that's like super thin, and it just has like a water cooler. It's got like a separate radiator for water cooling. He does some really cool stuff. A lot of it has nothing to do with gaming, but sometimes he does like hacking PS5s and stuff. He would potentially do that sort of thing, but he would do it for video, and I want somebody to just sell it to me.
Well, on the topic of Xbox, because I want to mention this real quick. I know a lot of the Xbox people, friends out there, are saying, well, how come Baldur's Gate 3 isn't coming out for Xbox? Well, guess what? It is. It'll probably be out later this year, but it was announced by studio founder Sven Vikny, and I'm sorry for butchering your name. But he tweeted that after a meeting with head of Xbox Phil Spencer, Larian Studios plans to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to the Xbox Series X and S by the end of 2023. The only catch is, if you're playing on Series S, you're not going to be able to do any of the split-screen co-op on that device. But if you're playing on the Series X, you can do all of that crap.
Which Xbox do I have to play it on before it won't show me any cutscenes?
That's a good question.
Because that's the version I want.
Yeah. Well, I know Sarah's been playing the hell out of it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's another game where I looked at the reviews for it, and like so many people are like, oh, this is the perfect game, blah, blah, blah. And then if you look at the people that aren't just, creaming themselves and fanboying, most of them are like, yeah, we didn't need a cutscene for a single fucking line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a review of the game.
Yeah, it's every time you go into like one of the shopkeepers, it's always like one of them is like, oh, other people are in need of things too. I'm like, I know. Just let me see your wares. Let me sell my shit to you.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about my wares.
Yeah.
I mean, I called it the instant you told me that it was 174 hours of cutscenes. I'm like, that's going to be a fucking garbage game.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it is. And you know what? The other stuff about it looks like maybe it makes up for it. And lots of people think it's great. That's fine. I mean, lots of people think that lots of games that are terrible are great. Look at Zelda. But the multiplayer, that still might get me to buy it, because multiplayer Baldur's Gate is, okay, all right, that's.
But I mean, at the same time, we could probably also find other games that are similar.
Yeah, and also in a year when it's $20,
then it will be, oh, we're all having a copy and we're all playing this together.
Yeah, like I will play the game eventually. I'm just not giving them that kind of money for a game that's just a movie.
No.
If you want to make a movie, start a fucking movie company. Don't use your game studio to satisfy that urge. You assholes. How's that for a hot take?
You've been told.
I phrased it that way to my one buddy. He's like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Although one thing I do find kind of funny and cute and neat about the cutscenes is when you have speak with animals.
Yes.
They actually have cutscenes with the animals you can talk to, and they're actually like voiced as well. It's fantastic.
Yeah. In fairness, when they say 174 hours, obviously there is a huge amount of variability in that. But I mean, it comes back to what we were talking about a few weeks ago. It's all about agency. The 174 hours, every story option that's available to you falls within those cutscenes.
Yeah.
Because there's no story that happens outside of cutscene.
No. Not
And
really.
anything that happens outside of cutscene might as well not exist as far as the game's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no agency whatsoever. You get to choose your own way through a very limited book with a whole bunch of different videos. And it's like, I'd rather play a game. I don't want to watch a movie. So, but apparently a lot of people want to watch movies that they get to control here and there. So whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I would still enjoy it if I tried it. I'm just not willing to support. I'm so glad you guys got it, because like one of us had to buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm sure I would enjoy it. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody who did buy it. I'm throwing shade at studios who keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
Stop fucking doing it. It's a game, not a movie.
Yeah. To be fair, though, in terms of agency and gameplay, this is, well, much like Fallout series or Skyrim, it does feel like they give the illusion of agency with being able to choose how much of a dick you choose to be with people. So it's not cutscenes where you're just sitting there staring into space while it's some cinematic. It's like an interactive cutscene, which is
totally
the in between the two, I think.
They, instead of giving you a choose your own adventure with like 10 pages, they gave you one with lots of choices, and kudos to them for recognizing that they need to give you choice. But at the end of the day, the gameplay only gets you from one cutscene to the next. It doesn't actually let you choose. It just gets you. It lets you choose within the 10 options that they recorded, or maybe 20, right? Like, you're still just watching a movie and playing a little bit of game in between.
That's why I was saying, like, my first go at it, it reminded me more of Mass Effect or Dragon Age, like just that kind of stuff, where like a lot of the cutscenes are more like just the conversations, like Sarah was saying. But it kind of had me down that road, so I wasn't too annoyed with it.
Yeah, and like,
I also haven't played it in a while because somebody's been fucking hogging it.
I don't know what you're talking about. You've been playing Final Fantasy 16
and Atlas Fallen
and
Wayfinder.
Yep.
And Mega Man X Collection.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to make everybody think that I'm like completely against Baldur's Gate. And I think it's a terrible game. It's just, it would have been so easy for them to spend that time and money making it so that you can actually choose your way through the game instead of spending all that time and money making choose your own adventure. They could have just let you play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a game studio. They should be letting you play the fucking game. Like there's all these new RPGs coming out that are like, oh, there isn't a non-violent way to play through the game. But we gave you all these cutscenes. It's like, how about you take that money and time and give us make it so you can actually choose how you play the game.
Yeah. I
would way rather that. Let me choose how I want to. I'm not going to choose the non-violent option. I will never choose the non-violent option.
Kill 'em all.
But I'd rather you spend that time and money letting me.
Yeah, letting you have that choice. Yeah.
And like, as far as I'm concerned, if there are things like that in like in a D&D style game, which you should be able to make your way through a D&D campaign, generally speaking, without combat, if you've got a decent DM. If it's a D&D game, which Baldur's Gate is, I expect that to be an option. And it's fine if you don't get there, because it's hard to make every option. But if you don't get there and you give me like a week's worth of cutscenes, then I'm grumpy. Because you wasted time. You wasted time and money that should have been spent developing that game.
Mm.
So that's my rant.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. It's the way the world's moving. People don't seem to care, and that's fine, but it means that our AAA games are getting worse and worse. Like the next GTA 6 is going to have cutscenes in it. And like, GTA already had cutscenes in it, but like the GTA 6 is just every year games are going to have less and less agency because people are letting the game studios do this to them.
The thing with the GTA cutscenes though is like at least they were entertaining and they led into.
Well, they started entertaining.
I thought GTA 5 was pretty
I don't
good
know.
all around.
Overall, it was pretty good, but there were some cutscenes in there that I'm like, that didn't need to be a cutscene. That didn't need to exist. There was a whole bunch where they were talking about like inner family drama and stuff. And it's like, I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
So, and that's just going to keep getting worse because people keep like, that's fine. It's still a good game. Spiders?
There's a little spider.
Oh, little spiders are fine.
Yeah.
We don't mind them.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I hate that that's the way it's going. And that is the way it's going. Like GTA 3 had like, there was no filler. It was like, here's your mission, go do it. That was the cutscene. And then 4 had a little bit, and then 5 had more, and 6 is going to have even more. I was like, just stop. Just let me play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Super Meat Boy. That's the amount of story I want in my game. No. Okay, RPGs are a little different, but
well, like with Atlas Fallen, I just bought it. It just came out a few weeks ago on everything basically, and I haven't, apart from like when you first start the game, like that's like the only cutscene I've seen. Everything else has been like you're either playing the game or when you have to talk to somebody, and that's it. It's still all in game, but the conversations are short and sweet. The voice acting is horrible.
Oh yeah, it's
but it's predominantly like gameplay. It feels kind of dated, but I mean, it's still, you're ripping around playing the game more than you are like talking or watching cutscenes and shit like that. So
it would be so much better.
Chad's
dying. Chad down.
Monster got me.
Anytime, just in general, anytime you've got a game that you could be developing more gameplay and you're spending it on a cutscene, you're wrong. It's really that simple in my mind. If the game is done, like actually done, and you want to add some sugar on top, that's fine. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Everybody's fine with that. But that's very rare.
Yeah.
And Baldur's Gate just took it so, like, I thought the same thing about Diablo 4. Diablo 4 had way too much cutscene, and the story was crap.
Yes.
But then Baldur's Gate was like, hold my beer, and took that to, like, they turned it up to 15. It's like, no, come on, guys. Wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of number of cutscenes, yes, Baldur's Gate far outweighs.
But the quality's better.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the cutscenes are actually like interesting.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it would be hard to have a worse story than Diablo 4, so
Ugh.
there's that. But
But-
yeah. Anyways, so
That's why I'm glad, like, probably around this time when this episode airs, I am already going to be well into Sea of Stars.
yeah,
Which is out at the end of August 26th. And I'm going to be playing the crap out of that. And it's one of those games that, to me, it blends the best things about Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG into like one just beautiful 2D animated, fantastic little game. The demo, like I said, if you haven't played the demo, please do yourself a favor. Go and play the demo if you're a fan of like Chrono Trigger or Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
I told you to do that too. So
yeah, I haven't yet, but I will.
That's
You said
that's your
it's
homework.
You said it's on Game Pass as well, right? No?
it will be releasing on Game Pass. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check it out.
And there's even a documentary on the making of it. The Escapist. They do really good making of documentaries.
They do, yeah.
And they've done one for Sea of Stars. They went to Sabotage Studios in Quebec and did a nice little making of video about it. It's fantastic. Check it out. And yeah, I will be like so into this game. Next episode, I'm probably going to talk about my experience with it because as of right now, I haven't quite experienced yet.
Yeah, we should actually explain that real quick. We're filming about a week and a half ahead right now. Is there a spider crawling on that, or?
Well, yeah, it was down, and then it was on here, and now he's going up the arm.
you
Yeah,
can
it's
kill
still
it.
the little one.
You can kill him.
I don't
you
want
know.
to kill
Okay.
a spider.
We're humanitarian. I'll kill it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try it out because it sounds good. And then, so when this airs, it will be out, and Starfield will be coming out in like a couple days.
Yep.
Which I will be getting into heavily.
I've already pre-installed it on my Xbox.
Yeah, I've been downloading it as well. So I'm looking forward to Starfield
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't heard anything crazy. I haven't heard anything about it that makes me think it's going to be a bad game. Everything I've heard about it generally supports the idea that it should be good.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it having like 17 full-length movies worth of cutscenes. It seems to be fairly open world. They said there's like not a non-violent playthrough, but I'm like, that's fine if you aren't wasting your time elsewhere. Like,
Yeah.
it pisses me off when they waste time elsewhere. The romance stuff I couldn't care less about, but apparently there's options there, so that's fine. And yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. We'll find out, but
Yep. I mean, if it's, I'm hoping that Bethesda's kind of learned their lessons from previous big RPG launches, and it won't be a bug-free experience right out of the gate. I know that, but I'd like to think that it's going to be a little bit more polished than
It won't
previous. I know. I wishful thinking and
actually,
shit.
it might, because they've partnered fairly closely with Microsoft on this to do like the Xbox Game Pass.
Mhm.
There's at least a possibility that they've actually put in some testing on it, because like I don't think that it's necessarily that Bethesda doesn't bother to fix issues.
Mhm.
I think they've never devoted enough time and energy to testing.
Mhm.
And that's fair, because like how do you realistically test a game like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Skyrim, let alone later ones? It's very hard to poke at all the edges there, but with the backup of, I assume Microsoft has dedicated some resources to testing it as well, because they've been hyping it for Game Pass pretty aggressively. Like they've been doing custom controllers and everything else.
Skateboards.
Skateboards. So between the two of them, hopefully they've actually tested it properly.
Mhm.
And we'll see. But yeah, I'm not expecting it to be good at launch. Well, actually, I'm expecting
it'll be good.
It's just buggy as shit.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Whatever. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the next couple of weeks they're gonna be pretty damn good for gaming.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna be really freaking good for gaming.
It's good because so far things have been. Even Baldur's Gate, even assuming Baldur's Gate is a good game, like even aside from my personal rants about it, outside of that, there hasn't been that much good this year. I mean, people talk about Zelda, but Zelda was crap. Diablo 4 was crap.
Armored Core 6 is coming out around. It's probably already been out, or it's coming out around this time as well, and. I've been hearing some good things about that one as well. I don't know if I'm going to get that one right out of the gate, but the last Armored Core game I played was the very first one that came out on PlayStation way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I admit I haven't been looking a lot at games that are coming out shortly because for me it's like, wow, I'm gonna play most of my time is gonna be Starfield until I decide I'm done with it one way or the other. I'm gonna be playing.
You're
Starfield,
going to space.
So I haven't really been paying much attention. But it does actually look like we're getting a pretty good lineup the rest of the year. There's a handful of good drops coming up. So we'll I'll be interested to check things out as they come down the pipe.
This is all just the beginning.
Yeah, it's good because we need some more games. By the way, I still haven't seen very much in the way of couch co-op, although there is the
Party Animals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks fun.
It looks fun. It basically looks a lot like Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. Like Gang Beasts was fun. Yeah. So it looks like it'll be fun.
The trailer alone was just
they did a good job.
It's such a good trailer. You gotta check out Party Animals trailer. It's an exclusive game for Xbox that's coming out soon. I think next week.
Yeah.
Well, last week.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's already out.
Yeah, it's out now. But yeah, that'll probably be one that the D2P crew here will fick around with, and
it looks like a good time waster.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see some more couch co-op going on. Although I don't really care about couch co-op that much, as long as it's like a couch co-op feel. Like it's fine if it's network, as long as it's got sort of that feel of
being able to goof around. And...
If it's a good LAN party game, I'm happy.
Yeah,
because we have that ability. But even that's been pretty rare these days.
Yeah, I feel like there's some games that are trying to bring it back because so many people do want that, but I don't know. It's very hit and miss.
There's been a lot of near misses. Like Diablo 4, great couch co-op in theory, except that it was limited to 2 people, and the network stuff was fine, but mostly just the game wasn't that good. It will be eventually, but it wasn't at launch.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll see more.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yep. We were also possibly going to be talking about another game that we were thinking about playing all together.
Which one's that?
Hammerwatch.
Is it multiplayer?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
there's online co-op and shared split screen co-op.
Oh, that's cool. So the extent. So I've been playing Hammerwatch, and it's interesting. I'll talk a little bit about it, but so I buy Steam games. Every once in a while I'll go through and buy just random Steam games that are super cheap. And Sarah messages the group and says like, Hammerwatch, we should maybe check this out because it might satiate our like dungeon crawl itch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I have that. I bought it like a year and a half ago and never played it. So I fired it up. It's a near miss for me, but it's a near enough miss that I think it's still, I think it'll grow on me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a straight dungeon crawl, as you could guess from the trailer. The thing that I don't love about it so far is, and I do mean don't love about it. It's not that I dislike this. I'm not like, the only real like collectible resource is gold. You just run around and you like spend your mana, you get hurt, you can pick up like mana and health, but you just pick up gold. Everything just drops gold. and then you spend that at the shops that you find here and there to upgrade your spells. But so far, and admittedly I haven't gotten that far in it, I only played it for 2 or 3 hours. Well, I don't think I've gotten that far. I actually don't know. You can upgrade your existing spells, but I haven't seen any option to like buy new ones or swap them out or anything yet. You don't seem to loot any sort of weaponry or items or anything like that. There are ways to like get a potion that like restores everything. I would love to see some itemization in the game. I think that's what it's missing for me. I'm used to games. I prefer games, I should say, that you like go down to the dungeon and you like fight a bunch of stuff and you like fill up your inventory, hopefully not all that quickly, with stuff and loot and everything else. And then you like take it back to town and you sell it and there's vendors there that you can upgrade and whatever. This doesn't seem to have any of that. It's just like pick up gold while you kill stuff until you get to the next vendor and then you can spend it on an upgrade, plain and simple. And then you just keep going. That's not bad. But it's a near miss.
Yeah. It's pretty like bare bones and compared to what.
Very bare bones. If they had added some sort of like itemization structure to the game, I probably would be like, it's the best game ever made. Yeah. It's Morris Cave version 2, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good. I like it. And like, given that I think I probably paid like $3 for it, you know?
Yeah.
I got my money's worth, but it's super simple. Like it's a little too simple. But with multiplayer, I bet it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's fun enough. Like I've been playing it on the Steam Deck and it's a good Steam Deck game.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, so if you're not looking at it right now, it's a pixelated dungeon crawler and it was released in 2013. So right now on Steam, it's $10.99 or you could buy a 4-pack for $32.99. There you go. So.
Yeah.
Or you could buy Hammerwatch 2, which came out August 15th, 2023.
Yes.
I was looking at that, but it's like $30 or something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to buy it until I at least tried Hammerwatch, the first one. Now, mind you, now that I've tried it, I'm going to take a closer look at number 2 because maybe they added some of that stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I basically looked at it long enough to see the price and was like, okay, I'm not just going to impulse buy it. I'll actually like take a look. It's fun though. Like Hammerwatch is good, and I can definitely see like the three of us like breaking out the Steam Decks and like playing in the same room.
Yep.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But it's very simple. Like it's super simple. Very well done though. I haven't had any real bugs, and it's smooth and it's well done. And the enemies there's difficulty. Like I actually died, which is nice.
Yeah. You don't want to completely face roll your way through.
Yeah, and I was playing it on normal. There's harder difficulties. So, like, if you crank it up, I suspect it's properly hard. And there's save points, but you go back to the save point. Like, I lost 20 or 30 minutes of progress because I was being a bit of a dipshit. That's my kind of thing. Like, there should be punishment for being a dipshit. So, overall, pretty good. And I will definitely play multiplayer with you guys because I think that'll be fun. Yep. But it's close to being like Adrian's pick of the year, and it falls short of that. So
I mean, like I said, simple little experiences like that. I mean, look at Cat Quest 1 and 2, and just how floored we were about
they're
those.
great.
Yeah,
they're great games.
Great.
So yeah, this I'm definitely gonna try this probably this weekend.
Yeah, it's worth trying for sure.
Yep.
And if for whatever reason $10 is too rich for your blood, like I said, I'm pretty sure I got it on sale, one of the Steam sales for like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So you can get it cheaper. But yeah, it was great. Kudos to the studio for doing a good job. And maybe Hammerwatch 2 will be like my
next step up from that. Yeah.
Speaking of games that end in watch, Sarah, you've been playing Firewatch.
I finished Firewatch.
Firewatch.
Yeah. That game I went into 90% blind. I knew it was...
Your eyes were open the entire time.
Oh my God. Yes.
Holy God.
No, I played the entire thing with my eyes closed. It was by sound only.
Fake news. There actually is a game like that though.
Yeah. I know. I want to play that game sometime. But yeah. So basically all I really knew of it was there's walking and you're in a forest and stuff happens.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, you had said previously that you sort of went in expecting a sort of a
Walking
simulator.
simulator. Yeah, and it was that a little bit. And then
Little
stuff
bit.
started happening and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And yeah.
I had not played the game barely, but I had played it just enough to know that it wasn't. So when Sarah said that, I was like, oh, no.
And it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
that's why I did play it. It's been on my my list to play for a long time. I just didn't fork out the money for it yet.
So I was just gonna say. So tell me, what is Firewatch?
It's a game.
Oh, well then.
Well, I can't. I
understand because
yeah.
you'll spoil it if you get
Exactly. If you get into it too much, you spoil it a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of walking around, and it's not like super action packed. It's a story based game.
Or did you mean literally what is the Firewatch like post?
Well, I just more or less like what is the game like?
Sure.
The premise.
Yeah. Well,
So you're a guy. You find out, like, this isn't spoiler. You find this out within the first few minutes of the game. A guy and a woman met, got married, had their life together. You get to pick some options as to what they did in their life. It doesn't really change anything, I don't think. She ends up getting early onset Alzheimer's, and her family takes her home to Australia, and this guy takes a job
as a Firewatch.
Yeah, as a Firewatch.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know anything about this, large parks have big towers. Nowadays, this is done by cameras, but big towers that a park ranger would sit up on, and they would watch for fire.
Yeah, and it all takes place in the mid 80s. And basically, you don't see any other people. All you have is a walkie-talkie that you communicate basically with, like, your supervisor, and then you're watching for fires and wandering around on trails and stuff, and weird stuff starts to happen. So you're just going along and learning the rest of the story, and
it's sort of walking simulator meets Bigfoot mystery, but not that it is Bigfoot by any means. Just like that's sort of what it is because it's an open parkland. It looked really cool. I've been meaning to go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do that at some point.
Yeah,
but you liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah, recommend.
Yeah,
especially for free.
I mean, especially for free. Like paying a little bit for it, because I don't think it's ever been really all that expensive.
I would be surprised.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like the sort of game that would be pricey.
No, let's Firewatch.
Well,
it's a little bit more than I was thinking, but on Steam it's $25.99.
Yeah, well, it's pretty expensive, so that's not super surprising. But but get Game Pass, like we've said before. Get Game Pass, it's good. I'm gonna try it out on the old PC because I'm pretty sure it's PC as well. I think
probably. Well, if you can get it on
not,
Steam, it's already been optimized for PCs.
Oh yeah, of course, right? Yeah. Duh. And if not, there's always Xbox Cloud Pass game thing. There are way too many products in the gaming sphere. It's just the naming is getting out of control. Like, what the fuck is the difference between Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass and all? I know that there are differences, and I even generally know a little bit, but like as a consumer, it's like, can you just give me like one product?
Yeah.
Game Pass. That's it.
Right? Like,
that's it.
On. Anyways, Xbox Game Pass streaming cloud game.
It's like bread. Sliced bread.
Right?
And toast.
No, toast is too fancy.
Oh, that's
save that.
That's breaking the bank now.
Rich people bread.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I will check it out because I started it and then never followed through with it, but it does look like fun.
Hell yeah.
So we're coming on. I mean, we're not quite at like the hour mark, but anything else you two wanted to cover?
What
pick a random game out of that bag and show it to them, and we're gonna play that. One of us at least will play that by the next time we do this.
Okay. I don't even.
We bought a bunch of games from a thrift store.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is that the Sherlock Holmes one?
Sherlock Holmes puzzle case.
Yeah, actually, I do want to play that. So by the next time we record, we will have tried that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it other than the that's why I
A
bought
challenging here.
Oh, shit.
What does it say on the?
Step into the shoes of Dr. Watson. Taking the form of a conversation between Sherlock Holmes and his heroic assistant, this quiz game will test your powers of deduction. Solve the cases before time runs out. Number of players, 1 to 6. Duration, approximately 30 minutes. Purpose of the game, to get 40 points.
Oh, okay, so it's a little bit like an escape room in a box. Interesting.
Yes.
I can see that I paid a whopping $3.49 at Goodwill.
ISBN 97... Oh, that's just the serial. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, that's the first clue.
Dramatic.
Cool. Yeah, no, I've been meaning to start playing through some of those games because we bought a bunch and I just never.
Oh, I forgot the South Park trivia's in here.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't think we'll have any special review for, but we should play it at some
Oh,
point.
that'd be funny because like it's like an older game, so a lot of the newer stuff won't be in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Token will still be Token.
Yes.
Wait, does he have a new name now?
Oh, have you not watched any of the recent
We
stuff?
haven't. No, we're like 3 seasons behind.
There's a whole thing about Tolkien actually being Tolkien, like the author.
Yeah.
And it's very amusing.
Okay.
But yeah. So, anyways, we depending on scheduling, we'll have a report on Sherlock Holmes puzzle case.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully Arch Ravels at some point too. That's been.
Yeah, we should. Whenever you guys are around, we should play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm a bum. I'm unemployed. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm around.
I'm a bum too, but I have a job.
I'm one of those employed bums.
Damn it.
Cool. I think
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching. And after this episode, we should be back to actually filming on Friday and releasing on Saturday for a while.
Yeah, and then we'll do live stuff.
Oh, well, maybe not. Well, maybe one day. Maybe
we'll
we'll do a live one.
We'll
one
do a
day.
live sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on things, not this episode, but next week, maybe we'll do
Yeah.
because I think we wanted to get together and play board games for a day anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do like a go live for an hour after the premiere and then
Hell
play
yeah.
board games the rest of the day.
Hell yeah.
You'll find out because if we comments, we'll
Yeah.
drop something.
Yeah, and if you've been playing Starfield, tell us what you think about it. If you did end up
No, they haven't played Starfield yet because it's not out yet when this launches.
right,
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars.
Serious.
Yeah.
Too
If you
many
played-
star games
Yeah,
lately.
if you played Sea of Stars, tell me how right I was and how awesome it is.
It'll just be me. Chad was right. It was great.
OMG.
All right. Thanks so much. We love you all. Subscribe, tell friends, all that stuff. We're gonna try hard, and it's not gonna happen, but we're gonna try hard to hit 500 subs by the end of September. So help us out.
Yeah.
Polkai football rules.